Everybody knows a postcard from the early 1900s is vintage. Welcome back to SMPostcards. If you're new to selling postcards or been doing it for a long time, this is the place for you. We have a lot of people here that sell postcards, collect postcards, and we got over 100 videos on different types of postcards and procedures and stuff. So welcome. And for today's video, I have a lot of stuff to go over. One of the things is what's sold on postcards. I sold 15 postcards, 14 on eBay for $75, one on Etsy for $5, so a total of $80 overnight. It's picking up a little bit, but then it'll probably drop again. Special topic for today. This is a postcard that I've had on my list for a while to do, and whenever I see these, I always, 99% of the time, they're undivided bags. Pre-1908. Right away postcards. And during the special topics section, I'll go through that. Then with the poll, I put these polls out every weekend. This one is, what do you do with damaged, unsellable postcards when you get them? What do you do with them? So I asked the question, do you shred them, throw them away? So we'll go over that. Then I got some viewer comments. One of them is, a viewer asked me, do I break up sets or do I sell it as a set? What are my thoughts? So stick around in the video for that. Remember, at the bottom of the video, there's timestamps or categories or chapters that you can skip through the video wherever you like, and I try to put them in the spots where they start, so it's like 4 videos in one. Instead of doing 4 videos, you can just watch and come back and watch later, or watch the whole thing. But let's go ahead and get through the what's sold, then I'll get into special topic, poll, and viewer comments. So the card that sold on Etsy is a painting of a raccoon eating some corn in the river. This is like a painting, painted by Al Graham, and it was posted in 1970. So just a chrome card of a painting of a raccoon, $5. Then we got on eBay, I sold this card, Mount Clemens. Now in the viewer comments, you're going to see this card again. This guy, Postcard Shack, is his name, and he bought this card for a special reason, and it's right down at the bottom. You see it? I'm going to tell you why. So that one right there, $45. Then I sold 4 of these boats. Right here, I got them in the plastic because they sold out of them. This is the General J.C. Breckenridge. They're prints, 4 of them, and I sold those for $18. Remember, you got to get them to buy more than one. That's where the money is. When you get them to buy more than one while they're in your store. While you got them, hook them. See if you can get them a volume discount or whatever. They buy more than one card. This card here sold. It's a view card of the lake on the East Side Drive in Winnipesaukee. It's a white border card. I don't know when it was posted on there. Next one is a bridge. A lot of stuff from the first 2 boxes overnight. This is the Crooked Bridge, Crooked River Gorge in Peter Spring, Ogden State Park, Oregon. 2 bridges, 2 for 1 deal, right there, unposted. This is a linen card of 2 bridges. Next one is one of these naval ship photos. This is the Boxer, USS Boxer, 6x3 card. Photo that'll go in a stamp and a label. It won't go eBay standard envelope. They don't do photos yet for that. This is Courtyard and Buffalo Bill Museum in Cody, Wyoming. That's the courtyard. It's a view card. Got a little goober in the back, but where it was in an album. Home card, $5. Sold another photo, USS Perry. This is like a 6x5, or 3x5 or 3x4 card. That's an actual photo, a Navy photo, and right on the back there it has all the information. So it's real easy to list. This was didn't say what the year it was done. Some of them do. Next one is a restaurant, the Constellation Distinctive Catering, Garfield, New Jersey. Dining room. Restaurants and food. Do well, chrome card, $4 to $5. This one is actually from the special collection that I did, and I'll stick a little thumbnail up here, but I bought $1,200 for 8 albums about 6-7 months ago, and this is one of them that came out of album 5. This is the Memorial Arch at Stony Island State Park, erected by Daughters of the Revolution. So, divided back card, older one, right there. So it's still selling. I'm still making money off of it. And then the last what sold is another print, USS Northampton, C826. And these are continental size, and they'll just go in the envelope. So again, it was a total of 15 cards for $80. Special topic. As I said before, this is a postcard I've been wanting to do. I got so many topics on the list there, and I pulled this one out and I said, I want to do this because I know what they are. I've seen them. When I see one, I know that they're going to be undivided back most of the time. But right away, what are you talking about right away? Well, as I go through this, I'll show you some examples, all the ones that are pictures of other ones. Right away, a postcard where the beginning of a message is pre-printed on the card's writing tab. There's a key right there, writing tab. The undivided backs had writing tab because you couldn't write anything on the back but the address before divided back. So it's a message is pre-printed on the card's writing tab. You then complete the message. Examples of opening line of a sentence on a right-away postcard, which you would then complete. Here's an example. It would say, I think it's about time, colon, and then you would put in, I think it's about time you wrote back to me. I think it's about time you came. Another one is, I find it difficult the way you are. I find it difficult to see you once in a while. I find it difficult to write this message. Or I've seen them say, here's one for you. Here's one for you, why don't you write me back? So they kind of pre-printed the start of the message on the cards, and as you'll see as the cards going through here. They also had cards where the 3 digits of the year were printed. So before Y2K, year 2000, they'd have 19.0, 19.1, 19.2, and then you would just put in the last digit. So you'll see those out there as well. You find them mostly on undivided back postcards, as I said before, as the right-of-way cards kind of disappeared when the divided backs came about. This is due to when the tabs were eliminated after the introduction of the divided back card. These were often found on early comic cards as well. So you'll see some of the comic cards where people fill it in, and it's a humor comic thing. So I hope you get it now, what a right-away card is. It's just basically a start of a message and then you fill it in. Now, what are these cards worth? Are they worth anything? Are they something to seek out? Let's take a look at the pricing. Normal sold high, sold low, list high, list low. Just gives you a feel of the market. Now, when I go to list the cards, I might take a deeper dive, but this is my first shot, and it kind of throws me in the ballpark. Is this something I want to put on the table and say, yeah, I'll take a look at these, or something I'll just turn my head to? Like greeting card and birthday cards, I don't look for. If I get some in the lots, I go to the flea market. I know, unless they're very ornate or old, I don't do well. But here, the right-away pricing for sold highs. This is a search on the highs. I don't take all the top ones and I don't take all the bottom ones. I try to stay in the middle so I get a good average of what the market is selling for. These are actual sold on eBay. So the first one is Scarce Lewis Wyland Postcard right-away. It's a tuck cat in there. $45 plus $4 shipping, so a $50 card right away. That subject's pretty cool, the cat with the top hat. So it's like a cat, anthropomorphic, animals acting like humans to a little bit too, but that's got a real good subject. It's got a teeter-totter or whatever on there. So I think that was priced well. Next one, it may be the artist, Lewis Wayne. That might be something to look for too. If you noticed it, it's the cats is Lewis Wayne. I know the Menser cats of those, but this is Lewis Wayne. So you want to maybe jot that down. Cat, it was quite pleasant right away. Another one, 3416. Do you think it's the artist that's getting these to sell more? Humor Cat Family right away series 1003 Tux, 1150. Had bids. Maybe if you put it and buy it now, he might have got a little bit more, but he got 7 bids. So people were bidding on these cats. So if you see the cats with the right-of-ways and they're Lewis Wayne, I would take a second look at those. So that's what's sold high. I'm not for sure if it's just anthropomorphic with the cats and Lewis Wayne or whatever, but when you look at the sold low here, this gets into more common things that I see. Postcard Raphael Tuck and Sons right away, number 341, Man Swinging Golf Club. Best offer accepted on $2.99. $2.99 in best offer? It's just amazing me on that. Next one is $4.99 for a Ralph Tuck right away. It's difficult to comic book. So there's a comic one there, and that sold for $4.99. That's better than $2.99 best offer. Lance Stackery. Maybe that's another artist. Right away. Damaged. $3.60. They had a 15% off on $3.60. $1.49 shipping. So those are falling in the $3 to $5 range. The high ones are anywhere from $12 to $50. How do you price these things? So I think when you dig down, you need to look for Lewis Wayne. Are they cats? What the subject is? And be careful on the comping, because postcards are all over the place. And people have a tendency to go to the highest one or the lowest one. You want to get an average. So those were the solds. These were actual solds. Now, if you put a postcard, a $50 postcard up for $5, it's probably going to sell, and people are going to see $5. Very difficult sometimes to get a good picture of what these cards are worth. And you always got to remember what you paid for them. Now, when you look at listings, a lot of these people are hobbyists, but then they're not. They've gotten some postcards inherited, picked them up, and they just think they're great because they're 100 years old. Just remember, during the golden age postcard, they estimated 4 billion postcards were mailed. And they don't think that number is right, because people put more than one postcard in an envelope to save ship mailing in those days. So it could be a greater number. So there's billions of these things out there from the golden age, 1908, around that time. So having a $100 antique clock might be more expensive than having a 100-year-old postcard. I can pull almost any postcard here on my desk. This one's probably 50 years old, 30 years old. Doesn't mean it's worth more. It's the subject and the artist and this, different things, the rarity of them. But here's someone that listed a high one. Vintage Tuck Lewis Wayne right away art postcard. Men caught the train early. So he's got the Lewis Wayne in there. Is that out of line? Because the other one sold for $50. I don't think so. It might be, and he's got best offer, so he went high. He's testing the market. He saw the other Lewis Wayne ones went, $40, $50. So he's going high, and he's going to do a best offer. So someone that collects Lewis Wayne will do there. And he also got a coupon to bring it down. So I think this guy did his homework on that listing. It's probably what I would do. And let it sit out there for a while. If it doesn't get anything, drop it down a little bit. Change the title up. But he does have all caps in the title. It's hard to read. Then he goes lowercase. It just doesn't look good. And vintage, some people have told me vintage is a good thing to put in there. I don't put the vintage rare, neat, nice, old, new. I don't put all that in the title. Everybody knows a postcard from the early 1900s is vintage. You can put circa 1900s or something like that, a little C on there. But I think that one's well done, except for the caps and the word vintage. But that's just me. Everybody has their way of doing things. That's a good example. Probably the best one I've seen in a long time. Right Away series, Devils, Demons, sawing their into man's head. UDP odd postcard E4. So UDP is undivided back. You can put that in the condition statement. No one's searching on UDP odd postcard. I don't see that a lot out there. Odd postcard. The subject's going to do it. But I'm glad it's at the end. And then he put E4. That's probably his inventory number. But I don't put all that in the top up there. $48.95. Now that's subject is pretty cool. I don't know if it's priced correctly, but I don't know the comps, and I don't see an artist on there. Lewis Wayne, that would be in the 40s. But we saw those other ones, 4 to 5. Tough call. Next one is 1910, rare. Tuck early baseball postcard right away. It's a Tuck, it's probably mass produced. $36, best offer. He's testing the market. What they are, I can't really say if that's right or wrong. But a Tuck's right away, I don't know if that's Lewis Wayne again. So there's a lot into it on these things. So I don't think really any of these are out of line. They're trying to get the most they can out of them. But they need to manage it. They need to make sure that they're going and checking. Just don't throw it up there and leave it alone. Don't ever look at it because it might not sell at that price. You got to manage your stuff. Then you get into the low. And this is why I had questions about the other ones. Postcard, Raphael tuck right away. There's a tuck right there. And we just saw a couple of tucks. This is $250 or best offer. Take the best offer up and raise your price. Look at these other cards people are listing. Look at the other ones. Don't follow them to the bottom. This is a lady on a stool with a mop. Put that in the title. $250, $1.25 shipping, so $3.75 for a postcard. That's just an average postcard. What I'm seeing on here, I would push these up a little higher and test the market. Land stack array, I have my hands full. Tuck right away. Another tuck. $3.30. Damaged. $3.38. So the one at the top is not damaged. Doesn't look like it's been used for $3.75, and the damaged one that's been used is $4.50 with shipping or somewhere around there. 20% off, and it says the word damaged. If you put that in the title, most people are not going to click on it. I would put it in the condition statement, at least get them into the listing, and then tell them it's damaged. Why put that on the title? No one's been searching for right-away postcard, vintage, damage. Titles are for search. That's what people search on. So damage would be in the condition statement, or in the description, or wherever you want to put it. But if you put it in the title, and I see the word damaged at the title, I would never click on it. It's a total turnoff for me because I don't want to deal with it. So I would never put damage or anything there. What do you guys think? Do you put damage and all that stuff in your titles? Let me know. Maybe it's a poll I need to put out there and just see if it's a best practice or not. Another tuck one. Tuck right away series. My time has been taken. Thief runs off with a watch. Right there describes it. Thief runs off with a watch. It would make me want to click into that postcard probably. So that's a pretty neat card. I think it's underpriced. $4.95 with a thief and someone chasing him. That's a good subject, and he's got it in the title. I don't know why that one hasn't sold. Get that in front of people. Do a zoom in maybe on the postcard with the thief would do that. But as you see, as always, postcards comps are very confusing. Some of the hard goods are pretty straightforward sometimes. But people that don't do their research is going to list them low or high. People that sold, they lost some money or they made some money. So just be very, very careful when comping. I'm not afraid to miss out. I buy my cards cheap. I don't pay a lot for postcards. So I can take a risk sometimes. But if I lose $1 here or 50 cents here, I'm not worried about missing out. I don't research this card here. It's a $4 to $5 card for me. I'm not going to research it. This one, this stack over here, yeah, I'm going to do a real quick comp on that one because it is a telescope. It might be something with the observatory, but a regular view card of a road, I'm not going to spend that much time on. I'm not worried if I lose 50 cents on it or if it's a weird road or something. Over average time, it'll fill out. But these types of cards, these right-away postcards, I'm going to look for the artist, Lewis Wayne. Maybe look at some other ones. Are they anthropomorphic? Thief and a guy. I'm going to do a little bit more digging on these cards. I don't find them that often because they kind of fall into the lots a lot. But when I do see them, I know that they're mostly undivided back. That's right-away postcards, guys. Now you know. Who knew? Okay, now we get into the poll. I send out these polls every Saturday. I think I got them scheduled for around 8, 9 o'clock Central Time. They're in the community tab on the main channel. And if you're subscribed and you hit the bell icon for the channel, you should be notified when I put something new out there. Let me know if that happens. I don't know if it happens on the community tab as much as on the videos. But we try to put a full-length video out on Wednesdays. Once in a while I put a couple on Saturdays. Or if I do something, I'll put one out. But the communities are scheduled throughout the year to go out Saturday mornings. This one was, what do you do with unsellable damaged postcards? And then we just saw in the listing, don't put damaged in the title. People are not going to click on your listing then. That's the way I feel. What do you think? What do you do with unsellable damaged postcards? 36% said they throw them away. 2% said they shred them. And 48% said lot up and sell as crafting material, junk journals, stuff like that. And then 14% said other. But I didn't get a lot of comments on it, so I only got 2 comments, I think, on there. But what do? I have a box pre-taped up under my table over there, and I just toss it in there, and I sell it to a guy at the flea market every year. During the winter, when we're not selling at the flea market, I'll have these boxes. Sometimes I have 4 or 5 of them for them. The cards that I know don't sell, birthday card, greeting cards, damaged cards, albums. I'll just toss them all in there, and he gives me $5-10 a box. It's better than putting. I don't want to put them online and sell them, because I don't sell broken stuff online. I don't care if it says for parts, whatever. You're just opening up a conversation with someone to say something, and I don't want to have that conversation. I'm not going to load their guns for them to come and say, well, this isn't what you said it was. And so I don't want to play with that. So I don't even want the conversation. So I got a guy out there that buys it on there. If he don't buy them, I got another guy. They know where it is. That's what I do with them. Stuff that goes in the box are the banned ones, the war symbol, some other Americana stuff like that. I got a video about 5 banned postcards that I know of that I tried to list on eBay, and they either took them down or wouldn't let me. And Etsy let me list a couple, but then they came back and took them down as well. Now I don't think all 5, but that's a video there. If you got any more, put it in the description so people can read it or comment about any postcards you've had taken down for any reason. Now, you don't really sometimes have to worry about eBay taking down a postcard. You have to worry about the other seller reporting you. So if they see a banned postcard out there and eBay hasn't taken it down, that person might click the report buyer button. And they do it so often, I don't think that's a good thing. So you got to worry about other people, not just eBay. I don't list them. I don't risk anything for one postcard. I don't risk it. If it even close, it goes in the flea market box. I don't play with it at all. I don't ride that edge. I'm so far away from the edge, I'm not going to fall off the cliff. One postcard isn't going to make or break me. But Julie Norman, Julie has a channel, Postcards. She sells postcards. She says if they are common, I either mark them, either put them in my antique booth or use them as bonus cards. So she'll use them as filler cards to give to people, or she has an antique booth that she sells them in too. That's a good idea. I don't have an antique booth, but I do buy a lot of postcards at antique malls. You do pay up, but I do support them, and they keep bringing cards. I found some good motel cards last time I went out and stuff like that in the antique booth, so that's another place to source. But if you haven't participated in this poll, it's still out there. Go ahead and put it on there. But throwing them away is one thing. Shred them, lot them up and as crafting material, or put them in an antique booth, or sell them as filler cards. But the real damaged ones, they go in my box. But if they're really just falling apart, those are garbage. That's the poll. Now we're going to get into viewer comments. Viewer comments come from everywhere. YouTube, emails, you name it. I grab them. Now this first one came from eBay. Gary at the Postcard Shack. That's his title there. And you'll see it here in the comment. He bought a postcard and he left a note. And I told him I was going to put this on the video, on this video. He said, "Hi Mark, I collect Mount Clemens." Gary, I hope I'm saying it right. Clemens, my hometown postcards. So right there tells you some people collect certain things. Gary collects Mount Clemens. This one has a typo in the title on the front of the card image. Not uncommon with Mount Clemens, aka Mount Clemens postcards. Now here's a picture of the postcard. I just put it up big screen. That's the postcard, and down in the middle and the bottom is the words. Let me see if I can blow that up a little bit. There it is right there, what he's talking about. So it should be Mount Clemens, C-L-E-M-E-N-S. And he said there's a typo in there. So he caught that, and this was one out of my earlier boxes that I listed a couple of years ago on there. So Gary collects those types of cards. So people collect different things. And he saw that typo. He also said, "I see you in your videos," probably a new one this morning. I try Wednesdays and Saturdays is the best. Love the infotainment. That's a new word, infotainment. I hope to meet you someday. Cheers, Gary at Postcard Chat. Sure, Gary. I don't know if I'll ever get out and meet everybody, but I appreciate everybody commenting and stuff, and how the channel is growing nice and organically. So, but Postcard Chat. So thanks again, Gary, with all that and your message and stuff. So keep in touch. I think it was you on the Whatnot auction last night too that bought a bunch of stuff, so I appreciate that as well. The next viewer comment is from Too Wonderful. Hey SM Postcards, what are your thoughts on folks on purchasing collections of particular subject? For example, the Art of Vintage DC comic postcards would come in packs of 100 for like $15 to $20, but listed and selling individually for $2 to $5. Thanks in advance. So I answered Too Wonderful is I've done them both ways. Sell them in sets, or I sell them individually. I tend to mostly go, I break them up. And the one reason is you do get more money individually, and if you don't sell them, then sell them as a set. And two, it allows collectors to get that 1 or 2 cards they need to finish their collection. Now it does take a longer time to sell probably individual cards than it does sets. But if you're talking the DC cards, you might want to go out and comp those. If they're newer cards and stuff like that, there is a lot of them out there. I have a friend that sells those. He does well with them, but they're hit and miss. They are long tail on there, but I tend to break them up. Some people might say keep the sets together. So I'm just that type of person that likes to buy that one card or whatever. For example, I bought Attack from Mars, whatever, trading cards from the 60s or 70s, I forgot what year. Not the older set, there's one set above that. And I bought the whole set for like $4. Well, I had a whole bunch of cards in there, and I just scanned them through, and over time I listed them all into their own category on eBay, $4 to $5, and I've sold enough to get my money back on there. A lot of people say I'm in profit. Well, that's a misnomer. Yeah, you're in profit on the line item of cost of goods sold, but you still got to pay to sell it. So when you hear someone say, well, I sold enough, now I'm in profit, it's a misnomer sometimes to me. It's just a line item that now I got my money back and I can go use that money for something else. You still have to pay to sell it, the packing, the shipping, the fees, and stuff like that, but you did get your money back. That's how I word it most of the time. I do them individually mostly. Thanks, Too Wonderful. And then Henry S. Good info. I buy postcards to get postmarked. Not for sure what the hell I buy postcards to get postmarked, and finding bulk is not easy. Not for sure that whole sentence there. Trying to figure out what I said. But I do get the rest. I do get your message. It's just that point right there. I won one of those 1,000 lots on eBay. First time I bought one, ended up with lots of Colonial Williamsburg. Yes. Now I have sold Williamsburg. I do list them. I do have a lot of them, but I have sold them. I know, but they do take a long time. It's not his thing. He's not a Colonial Williamsburg guy. I suppose why I get outbid is because 1,000 cards are instant eBay inventory, $1 to $5 each. Yes, that's my niche, is $4 to $5 cards. I do go higher, but most of the cards I do is Chrome divided back down to Chromes. I don't hide that. That's what I do. I'm not your RPPC, your artist signed type person. I like dealing with those types of cards. It's from my time period more than the older ones, but I will sell the other ones if I do get them. If I see them, I know what to pick. Lately, buying lots of cards has gotten harder. I think it might be due to Whatnot, but I used to be able to get 1,000 cards for $100, including shipping. 10 cents a card for years. Nowadays they're picked through. They're nothing but plain view cards or damaged cards, or you might get 10% good cards and the rest are greeting on there. It's not like it used to be on eBay where you can get them. I think it'll come back once people settle down a little bit on the postcard world, but the prices, I've seen them go from $100 to $220 for 1,000 cards. It's just the market, which is a good thing for us postcard sellers, because the demand is starting to come out there and the supply is going to dwindle. But what you want to look for is estate sales. People with private collections, albums that are not glued in, stuff like that, that someone has that they're not on eBay and stuff. Networking, drive. You know, we're going to be taking a trip here. I'm going to drive 14 hours looking for postcards. We're going to be gone for about 10 days. We decided to go on a drive, and we're just going to drive to one of the biggest flea markets in the country. Now, we're going out there just for postcards? No, we're going to be staying in different places and doing different things. But basically, I'm driving 14 hours to find postcards. But we look for other things to sell too. So we're going to hit small towns. We're going to sightsee, do different things. We don't have a schedule, so we're just going to go for a drive and come back. So you want to get out there and look for those types. That's what I'm looking for, is the special deals. eBay lots right now. I don't need those lots. I'm looking for special collections that people have done for years and stuff. But Henry also said last antique mall I went to had 0 postcards. It was shocking. Yeah, some people have pulled out of them antique malls, because people that really make money in the antique malls is the antique mall owner. They make it on rent. And some people do well in those malls, but then sometimes, most of the people I know around here that I've dealt with at the flea market and stuff, they said that's a good place to store their stuff. It's cheaper than a storage unit, but they don't do that much in there. And then some people do very well. It just depends what you can get your hands on and how you price and move your stuff around. And they can be a lot of work. But postcards in the antique malls, you gotta look for the baskets. You gotta look for little drawers. You gotta look underneath things, in the boxes and stuff like that. The junkier the booth, the more I'll dig. But yeah, you'll find them, and then sometimes you're not. But they sometimes got them priced way too high. But with these right-away postcards, what thought of me when they talked about the writing tab and how it begins the message for you, it brought to mind a video I did for vignette postcards. And what is vignette? It's a picture that shades off gradually into the surrounding paper. So on the front of the card, when they wrote on the front, there'd be a picture, and there's no border around it. It kind of fades into the writing tab on the front of the card. So those are vignettes. Does it really bring you more money? Would you put that in your title? I don't think anybody's really searching vignettes, but that's just what they are. So check this video out here on vignettes. Something else to learn. That's all I got for you today. Good luck out there, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks.